when someone is streaming and you're watching live, you're in the audience, you have the opportunity to interact with the host and a panelist or guests, if there are any, by being in the live chat. Anybody watching can make comments in the live chat. There's also a feature called Top Chat. I never use that, so I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the live chat, but for all intents and purposes, live chat and Top Chat are pretty much the same thing. Regardless, it's usually a box on the side of the video. However, if you format your video differently on your screen, I have seen it where it's been underneath the video. So that's called a live chat. Now, as a member of the audience, the comments that you type might not always be seen. For example, if you type too many characters, YouTube won't allow it. If YouTube's bots think that something you're saying is inappropriate, it will hold it. It's up to the host or any moderators, those are the people with the little blue wrench by their name, to unhide it. We actually can see what you typed and it says hide or unhide. YouTube automatically hides it. It's up to us to unhide it, right? And a moderator or the host can go ahead and do that. Another thing moderators can do is they can put you in a timeout if you're trolling or something like that. The host can outright ban you, in which case you can just log on under a different account and jump right back in. But that's typically for dealing with people who are trolling. You, as a member of the audience, can delete your comments. Now, I can understand if you fat-fingered something or if you just can't spell and maybe you're embarrassed because of that. You don't want people to know how fucking stupid you are or something like that, right? Or maybe you made one comment that was maybe a little bit inappropriate, or you thought about it later and said, you know, that sounded really immature, and you're a little bit embarrassed. So you delete those comments. One comment here, one comment there. That I can get. There are people that actually, at the end of the show, will delete all of their comments. And I think that's a punk-ass bitch move. I really do. Now, some of these people are these conspiracy whack jobs. They think the government is actually watching and they're out to get them. There are people that go onto their videos and their live streams and they talk about the NSA is watching us and they're all coming for us and blah, blah. Dude, they are not fucking watching us. Sure, they can use an algorithm to pick out certain words and stuff like that. And if they want to go back and watch it or get a transcript, I'm sure the government has all the technology to do that. That's kind of a given, right? But they're actually implying that there's a room full of guys watching YouTube, writing down everything or typing or going, all right, this is the person, here's what it, go get them, right? Dude, they don't fucking do that. If anything, YouTube's just going to censor us because they're a bunch of leftards, okay? But the rest of that, that's just a bunch of conspiracy bullshit. If you actually go on a live stream and say something that is that blatantly criminal, maybe you'll get a visit from somebody. But it's got to be pretty freaking blatant. I mean, I'm not going to go into the specifics, but it's got to be pretty blatant. Some of you guys just, you think you're that special that the government is actually watching you. Dude, the government could give two flying fucks about you. Regardless, deleting all of or most of your comments to me is just, it's a shitty move. It really, why did you bother making comments? As a matter of fact, why the fuck are you even watching? So, you know, take it for whatever you want, you know, look at it any way you want, but that's the way I look at it. But that's called a live chat. Now, for those of us on the other side of the glass, because there are some of you in the audience who've never been a panelist or a guest on a live show, you've never hosted your own live show, you have no idea what it's like on our side. Sometimes we talk about it a little bit, but you don't see it the way we see it, literally. Our screen looks differently based on whatever software the host is using to stream the show, right? And there's different software. Some of the software doesn't exist anymore, and sometimes there are changes in the software. Software looks different on a mobile device than it does on a desktop or laptop. Some software is mobile friendly, some software isn't. The mute button's in a different place. One of them, you can change your avatar 100 times during the show. Another one, it's a pain in the ass to change your avatar. It's all different. But from our point of view, things look a little bit different. Sometimes we can't hear, with some of the software, the panelists actually can't hear like background noises like music, or if they're live, if they're sharing like a video or something like that, they're screen sharing a video with you know, picture and sound. We can see the live picture, but we can't hear the sound. Or maybe they got theme music, intro, outro music, things like that. Sometimes we can't hear that depending on the software the host is using. So it's a little bit different, our perspective being in the panel. Another thing we can do, I've seen it on all the software, but it's not all doesn't always work the same on all the software, is we can have an internal text chat that you guys can't see. We can chat amongst each other. So we can, literally say, did you read that comment? That guy's a total dumb fuck, or something like that. And you guys can't see that. Or whatever. Or we can simply say, something's going on, be right back, I'm back, stuff like that. That way the host can see, oh, Joe Blow had to step away for something. All right, I won't call on him next. I'll skip to the next guy. Something like that. But the internal chat is something you can't see in the audience. And it's typically called an internal chat. Hey, check the internal. If you hear somebody say check the internal, that's because they put something down that they don't want the audience to see and they don't want to say on air. Maybe it's their address. Maybe it's, it's something, they don't have a blue wrench, so they can't put a link out in the live chat. Because that's another thing moderators can do, is they can put links out in the live chat. Otherwise, that's another thing you can't do as an audience member unless you have that blue wrench, is you can't attach a link or something like that, right? So that's what that internal chat is for. The other thing that the internal chat has been called as slang, as long as I've been doing this, which is a little bit more than 5 years now, is the side chat. Hey, look in the side chat, or it's over in the side chat, something like that. That's the internal chat, no matter what software we're using, that we can see and the audience can't see. Even though the live chat is on the side of the screen for most of the audience watching, it is not the side chat. The side chat is the internal chat. And some people call the live chat the side chat. It's the live chat. It is not the side chat, guys. I suppose if that's what you want to call it, that's what you're going to call it. Because there's lots of slang terms for things that aren't accurate. They're just not. Or people call things by a name the inventor never intended it to be called by, or anything else like that. And we can argue back and forth all day long. Is it called this? Is it called that? One more thing about the live chat. If you type a comment in the live chat and nobody is responding to you, the host or the panelist, that sort of thing, nobody is responding to you, don't get butthurt over it, okay? Sometimes they can't see what you're typing, because if you're a panelist and you're joining the show from a mobile device, not all the software that is used to stream is mobile friendly, and it's difficult or sometimes even impossible to see what people are typing in the live chat on YouTube if you're joining from a mobile device. Another thing is that if your comment isn't relevant to the topic, nobody might want to address it, especially if you look like you're trolling or you're just acting like an asshole or something like that. Nobody might want to address it. They don't want to give you your 15 seconds of fame or whatever it is you're looking for, right? So if you're going to go off on a tangent, it might get somebody's attention, it might not. Just because you were in the audience on a live show where there's one host and he reads almost every comment in the live chat doesn't mean that on a show with a panel and a lot of people with a lot of things to say, are they going to take the time to read every comment? So don't take offense to it. Don't take it personal. There are people that want their comment read, so they do the super chat thing if the person is able to accept super chats. And that kind of sucks that you're paying them to read your comment. But hey, man, if you're that desperate for attention and validation, you just go ahead and pay for it. I won't. Another thing to consider is that sometimes the chat is going so fast. The live chat is just going by so fast, it's literally difficult to read. I've been on shows where it's just zipped by, so many people are typing in so many comments, it's hard to keep up with. And you just can't read all of them. That's why sometimes the host relies on panelists to help him or her read some of the comments out there in the live chat. Or maybe the host is busy dealing with different kinds of things on their end to keep the show running according to the way they've got it formatted and things like that, and they're relying on the panelists to go ahead and read some of those comments from time to time. So I know sometimes your stuff gets missed, but there's a legitimate reason for it. It's not necessarily because somebody's excluding you, unless, of course, like I said, you're acting like an asshole. So that's just my take on the live chat versus the internal or side chat. Thanks for listening.